Put on your earmuffs. What's up, guys? My name's Chris, and these are stories from my 22-month incarceration. Some are brash and tough, and exactly what you'd expect from prison stories, while others maybe will give you a different perspective and maybe even hope for humanity. So let me paint you a picture. This time I'm 38. I've never been locked up. I've never been arrested. Shit, I never even had a speeding ticket. So I surely found myself in a different situation. Situation that I've, again, never been in. Situation that was surely a kick in the teeth. But a situation, again, that turned around at the end of the day to be something that really changed my life. I just wanted to point out that I was arrested on May 22nd, 2020. Now, May 25th, 2020 was the George Floyd incident. We all remember that. Now, the media projected a lot of racial tension. And I admit, there was a lot of racial tension inside those jail cells. Being that I found myself in a situation that I was now the minority, I'll be honest, there was part of me that kind of was weary, and I didn't really know what to expect. But if you listen on to the rest of the story, you'll see something that just blew my mind. And I say I was a minority because I don't know if you heard, but the prison system is unjustly filled with blacks and Latinos. Yeah. And I surely can contest to the amount of racism and prejudice that goes on in the judicial as well as the prison system. It's nuts. And then to make matters fun, when I was downstate, Kyle Rittenhouse decided to do the whole, run down the street, killing people, shooting people with an AK. And that didn't go over so well. So that created some additional racial tension, obviously, and justifiably. And yeah, that was interesting. The whole trial and all that kind of stuff. That was really a good time when you were locked up. And in conjunction to what I said before, if a black guy were to be parading down the street with an assault rifle, homie's going to be looking at like 4 or 5 like life sentences. So that's what I meant by that. And yeah, that caused a lot of friction because you had, guys that were in for drug charges that had 10 years, yet a guy has an assault rifle. Like, they looked at it that way. So it definitely, I had many conversations about that topic for sure. So when you get shipped downstate, you don't have anything. You don't have any books, you don't have any paper, pens, nothing. They give you shit. They give you khakis, 2 pairs of boxers. The pickings are slim. So at this point, it's about 2.5, 3 weeks since I've been down in prison. Now, I'm already at this point, I'm just, learning everything, doing the best I can to kind of adapt and navigate through things. And you have something called commissary. That's when you get your food. You order it 2 weeks in advance, and they ship it to you, and you get it every 2 weeks. So, needless to say, I was really excited to get commissary. I ordered as much as I could. I maxed out, as they called it. And at this point in my whole incarceration journey, that's one thing I realized was I learned over time to kind of just gravitate towards finding that silver lining, to finding what was going well. There was shit sandwich after shit sandwich. It was nonstop bullshit. It just never ended. Whenever you had a time that you thought that it would go away and things were going to start getting better, it would kick you in the face again. So by this point, I'm pretty beaten and I just want my fucking food. That's it. I just want my stuff. I want my supplies. I wanted some t-shirts. I wanted some shorts to work out in because, again, I was actively working out. So I had to sleep and work out for a whole week in 2 pairs of khakis. It was ridiculous. So I wanted my commissary so bad. So here I am. I'm excited as all hell. Commissary day. Holy shit! Ooh, shit! I'm getting my stuff. What's up? Now, I'm pretty sure I was doing this dance as I'm sitting there waiting in line, and I'm having a good time. Everything's good. Everything's great. Getting up into line. hand him my slip, hand him my little ID chip, because you had to have that on you at all times. He hands it back and goes, "You had all zeros in there, you don't get anything, wait 2 weeks." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Come back, 2 weeks, get out of here." Obviously that was one of the COs. And I just had my paper in my hand. I remember like, alright, I'm just walking. And I'm just walking. I'm walking up the stairs. I was on one of the top cells. And I remember just walking in that fucking cell. Just shattered. Now at this point, again, you're looking for silver linings, but shit sandwich after shit sandwich after shit sandwich. Things get old. And you get beaten. And you go through these times of like, fuck this. And this was one of those times. I walked in that cell. I remember just saying, fuck this. Fuck this. I was fed up. I was just crushed. So I'm sitting there. I'm on my bunk. I'm on the bottom bunk. I have my head down. I'm looking at my slip. I'm like just mad at myself. Like, why didn't you put a zero at the end? Like, I'm trying to get over things in my head. Just kind of like, dude, this is what it is. And that was one of the things that got me through that saying, it is what it is. Because there's so many things you can't control. Shit will happen and you just like, okay, you have no control. And actually that was one of the best things for me. But we'll talk about that later. So I'm just sitting there holding my paper. I'm just depressed and I'm just really bummed out. And my bunkie Dave walks in at the time. He didn't have a lot. He didn't have a lot of family and things like that. So he comes in with his stuff and he sees what happened. And he's like, ah, man. So I remember he gave me a beef soup and he gave me a chicken noodle soup, like the ramen noodles. Ooh! But I remember just being so crushed. And I remember in that room we had to wait like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I remember just trying to I was in my head. I was telling myself to be appreciative of those 2 soups. I had a plan. I was going to space out the soups. You're going to have this soup on one day, and you're going to have this soup on the other day. And I made amends with the situation in my head. It was hard. But in that time, it went from aggravation, just desolation, and fuck this, to, just like we're going to keep doing. We're going to keep at this. And I just remember that feeling. And the next thing blew my fucking mind. I literally get choked up thinking about it. But so I'm all like, 2 soups, sweet. Have it all planned out in my head. Cell buzzes, the door buzzes open. We walk out. As I'm walking out, I see all these random dudes. Some of them that I knew, some of them I just saw in the yard. And they all have stuff in their hands. Some like 2 soups, some a bag of tuna. Some dudes gave me like a brand new t-shirt. One dude gave me a brand new pair of shorts. One dude gave me a brand new pair of sweatpants because they saw me outside working out and they're like, you're gonna need this. One dude, he had a cup. He's like, dude, I saw what happened, man. Here's a cup. You can't even begin to explain the amount of gratitude and appreciation. And remember, this was all races doing this. Blacks, Latinos, whites, everybody. So here I was, I'm like going to my door, someone else is there, they're giving me something, I'm like, thank you. And everyone kept saying, don't worry about paying me back. And no, I think I paid almost every single person back, but for the most part, everyone was like, don't worry about it, man, we got you. And the whole consensus was, we take care of one another. And I thought that was amazing. Again, you wouldn't expect that. And that forever changed my world, man. That forever changed my outlook on things and how I view the world and how I view people. So, I took all the stuff because you had a certain amount of time you had to go out to the yard at a certain time. So I put all the stuff on my bunk and went out to the yard, did a workout. Now, again, thought about it, was excessively appreciative of this. I thanked all the people that helped me out, had conversations with people, and, just, it was great. I was very happy. And then I went back to my cell. Remember, we walked in, and I just walked up and I saw all the stuff piled on my bunk. And I was just blown away. And I remember I just started crying. I remember I sat in my bunk and I'm just taking the stuff and putting it on my lap, and I was just getting tears in my eyes. And I look over and my bunkie Dave is sitting there on the stool with a smile on his face, ear to ear, man. And he has tears in his eyes, and he's like, dude, that ain't shit you expect in prison, man. And I just remember looking at him like, no. And that day changed my world. And I want to emphasize the fact that this was all races. That's like the whole point of this. That's the key factor. People, different backgrounds, different upbringings, different criminal records. It's crazy. It was just mind-boggling. The one guy that gave me the shorts, he had a 30-year bid. Just, oof. In a weird way, I can kind of relate it to life in general. I feel that we're at a state in society that things are just beat. People are defeated. And I think now is when we kind of have to unify and stick together and help each other out. Just like that scenario where you're in a place of desolation and you'll do anything to find some solace. And here you are helping someone else, and someone you don't even know. I couldn't even imagine at the time. I remember like weeks down the road, I couldn't imagine like when I finally got my 3-pack of brand new white t-shirts, it couldn't even register in my head to take one of those. I needed that. That was gold. I couldn't imagine taking one of those and giving it to someone I didn't even know. Blew my mind. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. I wish I could have kept this a little bit shorter, but I really appreciate you listening to my story. I probably left stuff out, but there'll be a book and you can read about it then. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day. ADHD side note, I've never met more people named Uzi my whole life. Uzi, like... Just another side note, I've never seen people house honey buns the way they do. Honey buns. While being incarcerated. It's a world record thing. It's crazy. And the fact that they allow you to be able to order these many fucking honey buns is beyond belief, but that's another story. I definitely have stories where my big mouth got me into trouble. I got stories where I was minding my own business and still ended up getting in trouble. You meet a different caliber of people when you're downstate. And yeah, good times.